Gail also is on here. They are going to be the ones that are going to be filtering all of your questions during this webinar, during this Zoom. So if you do have a question, please feel free to type that in, and hopefully we'll be able to get to as many of those as we can throughout. Of course, as Emily said, my name is Jed, and I'm going to be hosting today. Hopefully you guys were able to join us for our last one with Bella, the Jaguar. That was absolutely extraordinary. This one's going to be really exciting, and today I'm bringing on Cassie. Now, you guys are probably sitting there and saying, why don't you guys have masks on, and why are you not social distancing? Well, it's because Cassie's my wife, and so we social distance together. So we don't have to worry about a mask when we're with each other because we live together, we're married. So don't worry. We do practice social distancing to keep us safe, especially Cassie because of her position here at the zoo as the elephant supervisor. She has such a big job, and especially through this pandemic, because we've had an exciting time. We've had an elephant that was born during this pandemic, which has been pretty crazy. Now, Cassie, let's start by telling everyone, where are we in the elephant habitat?
So right now we're behind the elephant habitat. So as you look around, you can see that on the other side of us, you can see the public walkway. So that's where all of our guests would normally line up to be able to observe our elephants. We're at the back side of that. So we're actually looking at it from the public side.
And so you guys call this kind of your South Creep, and it's a training area, which we're going to get an opportunity to see what that's all about. We do have two of your other keepers. Why don't you introduce your two other keepers that we have?
Yeah, so we also have Shelby and Monique, who are going to be working with us today. They're going to be calling Samba and Penzi over right now. And also Matt, he's going to be keeping Nandi busy and keeping her entertained while we're doing this little piece. But they're starting to call Samba and Penzi over, so they'll start making way in just a second. And Nandi's going to be heading over to a nice shady spot to keep her cool and occupied so we can get a little bit of a closer look at her sister.
And I think it's really important to say that the keepers do not go in with the elephants. You guys have protective contact, a barrier at all times between you and the animals. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so here at Reid Park, we do protected contact. So we work really close, hands-on with our elephants. We don't go in with them though. So we do always keep a barrier between us and them. So you can see Shelby's on one side of the cable and Samba and Penzi are on the other side of the cable. And I'm Shelby, why don't you move down just a step this way, and then we'll kind of keep going from there.
And I'm going to kind of move this camera a little bit differently so that we can actually see our elephants and Shelby here. So let's talk a little bit about the training. Since we're here doing training, you said protective contact, and you guys are also doing positive reinforcement training. Talk a little bit about what that is and why you do that.
So all the behaviors that we do with our elephants are positive reinforcement. So we ask them to do things with us, and they have the choice. They can walk away into their big habitat, or they can come up and interact with their keepers and choose to do training with us. It's very positive though. They get rewards and things that they like when we do training. The bigger elephants really like food rewards. Penzi just likes to have social interaction. So she likes to interact with keepers and get scratches and play.
Okay, and let's talk about Penzi, the star of our show today, our little elephant born on April 6th, and she is putting on a show right now. Hang on just a sec, we're radioing our other keepers for elephants here. Okay, so she's putting on a show. Cassie, how much was Penzi? What was her birth weight?
So when Penzi was born, she was 295 pounds, which is a pretty big baby. And she was one of the largest of her herd.
And now 3 months later, where are we at?
So now she's 478 pounds.
478 pounds. And so she's packing on weight. Obviously, nursing is the majority of her nutrients, but you said that she's now eating some solid foods.
Yeah, so her teeth have started to come in, and she is starting to really prioritize eating. Most of her nutrients are coming from milk, but she's eating bits of hay, pellets, grasses. Her favorite food right now is lettuce though. So when she's done playing, you'll see Monique has a lettuce head, and that's one of her favorite things to munch on right now.
Now, obviously, at 3 months old, you're not doing the extensive training that you're doing with Samba. We see Shelby working with Samba in being able to show us her feet and different parts of her body. Penzi is not getting that in depth, but you have already started that training with Penzi.
Yeah, so Penzi is starting to get interactions with her keepers, just so we can take better care of her. She did have some medical issues, so we needed to be able to assess her and make sure that she was healthy. So the keepers did start working with her at a really young age, and we would ask her to come up to us and allow us to check her and touch her, and she would get rewards and scratches for that.
Now, it's pretty extraordinary to me, the amount of trust that the animals have in our trainers, because again, just like you said, this is, oh my gosh, she's being adorable. Look at this. Are you guys watching this? The amount of trust that our animals have with the trainers to voluntarily come up to them. Again, there's nothing that's keeping Samba here. If she wanted to walk away, she could. If Penzi wanted to walk away, she could. But you guys developed that trust from a very early age, starting from pretty much day one. And that trust has allowed you to do some pretty extraordinary things with Penzi in being able to actually draw blood from her.
Yeah, so we did need to monitor Penzi really closely with the issues that she had early on with an infection. So in the last weeks, we've been able to get blood from her voluntarily. So we were able to scratch the back of her ears, and she held still for us, and we built upon that so that the vet could put a very small needle in there and draw little amounts of blood. And we've been able to watch her blood and see her recovering really well from the infection that she had early on.
Okay, guys, and let me reinforce that in saying voluntarily, this little elephant has allowed them to draw blood. Anyone who has pets at home, maybe a young pet or even a child, we've got a 5-year-old daughter, and you know, at that age, it would be very challenging to be able to have them allow somebody to do that. So what an extraordinary feat. And that just, again, proves kind of the relationship and the connection that you guys have with these animals. So Penzi, now 3 months old, she's getting much bigger. She's got a lot of body parts with these trunks and things, and that takes some time to figure out how to work all of them. How's she doing?
So she's really starting to master her body. In the early months, she would spend a lot of time tripping and falling and stumbling onto the ground. And now she does that more intentionally. So when she's on the ground, she usually chooses to be there. She likes to flop her body around. She's getting really good at getting up and getting down quickly. She's also mastering that trunk. So she's able to pull little bits of grass. As you can see, she's
seeing right now.
working on.
Oh, that was good timing.
So that's a really great thing that she's able to do. The mud and the water, she's able to get that up in her trunk. She might do a little bit of it now. And she's able to use that for drinking and also for cooling herself down. Elephants can stay cool by splashing mud behind their ears. When they fan those big ears, it makes the cool air go against their body, kind of like a swamp cooler. So she's starting to learn how to take bits of mud and water and put it behind her ears and cool herself down.
Yeah, and we're here at the South Creek area where we have this small mud wallow, and you guys built that for her. Now there are larger ones that are out there. How's she doing with the big mud wallows?
So she's doing a little bit better around the big wallow, but she does not want to go in. It's big and it's intimidating. She's not quite as confident in that big space, but she is really excited about playing on the edge of that. We've been watching really carefully to see when she's going to be confident to get into the deeper wallows with the bigger elephants. Right now, she's just absolutely silly, though. She really loves these little small wallows. Her interest in interacting with Monique right now is there, but she's being very playful with her, and she wants to kind of mock charge and do playful baby elephant things with her.
And someone saying, are all the baby elephants silly? I think they are. I mean, every baby elephant that I've seen, they're just silly. They're very animated. They're energetic. And it seems like they just go, 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 and then they kind of crash. And then they sleep. And then they get back up and they kind of go, 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 go.
Yep. So it is something that they spend the majority of their waking time doing, is playing pretty rough and rowdy. So if she's not playing out here in the wallow, she's running around with the other elephants. And she also really likes her toys. So right now she's just playing with the cables, but when she comes into the barn and when she finds things out on habitat, she'll roll them around and push them and try to use her weight to interact with her environment.
All right. And right now we are seeing Samba, Mom, and Penzi, who is one of her daughters. We saw her other daughter, Nandi, a little bit earlier. How is she doing with the rest of the herd? Who does she like to hang out with? Is one of them her favorite?
So her favorite elephant to hang out with is Nandi. Mom spends the most time with her, and that's, from parenting rights, but Nandi is her favorite. She'll spend most of her day traveling around with Nandi, and it seems like it gives Samba a bit of a break. Samba really enjoys having a little bit of alone time from time to time. So Nandi and Penzi will travel around the habitat together, but we've also seen something in the last couple weeks where Nandi is starting to hang out more with Lingili. And so those two have been found traveling around together and spending more time together too. So her social skills are starting to develop, and she's branching out to the other herd members.
So Cassie, I'm wondering if we can move this a little bit closer over here. Is that all right?
Yep.
So let's try. We're going to try to get you guys a little bit closer view. We're going to come around here and just see. Sorry for the shakiness. All right, hang on, guys. We're going to try and get just a little bit closer view since Penzi is hanging out over here. We're moving all of our technology this way. There we go. So her and Nandi are our best pals. Now this is really good for Nandi also because eventually she may have an offspring of her own, and she's learning through her mom how to take care of Penzi, which may help her take care of her offspring down the road.
Yeah, so elephants have very strong family bonds. The mothers, daughters, aunts, sisters will spend their whole lives together. And it's important for Nandi to learn how to be a good big sister and to learn how to be very gentle around little calves. The first interactions that Nandi had with Penzi, she was a bit startled, but she learned really quickly from her mom that she has to be very gentle. And it is a great skill for her to learn as she grows, if she's around other calves and down the road when she does have the opportunity to have her own calf.
Now we do have Sun Tzu, who is big brother, and then we have Mabu, who is dad, and Lingili, who is kind of the auntie. Dad's weighing in at over 13,000 pounds. How does a 13,000-pound bull react to, a 400-pound juvenile here, infant?
Well, the male elephants are actually very great with the youngsters, and that's something that they have to learn as well. So if you have a natural elephant herd, the young males grow up with their family groups and stay with them for a long time. And that's something that they learn really quickly from their mothers and aunties, is that they have to be very gentle around little elephants. And that's a lesson Mabu learned early on. And when he's around any of the little elephants, he's very careful. Sun Tzu is as well. So they're very gentle with her and move very carefully around her.
Now, I think Tucson Reid Park Zoo is so lucky, so fortunate to have this African elephant herd. It shows the dynamics of what a herd is, and it allows us to really tell that great story about the largest land animal on the planet. Elephants are an endangered species. They do have several threats. How does people visiting Reid Park Zoo help affect wild elephants?
So I think that the thing that we hope for most is that Penzi helps connect people to elephants and have them learn to appreciate them and see how similar they are to us. We really want Penzi to be an ambassador for her species and represent her wild counterparts and teach us how that we can help start preserving them in the wild better.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a endangered species. We have numbers that are going down due to poaching and habitat loss. Reid Park Zoo works with a conservationist, Dr. Charles Foley, in the Tarangire National Park, which is in Tanzania, an extraordinary gentleman that has spent the last 3 decades of his life protecting an area for elephants. The Tarangire National Park is a crucial area that sustains tens of thousands of animals during the dry season due to the Tarangire River. It's one of the only natural water sources that's there year-round. So during the dry season, all those animals have to come into the Tarangire National Park to be able to sustain themselves. And then once the rain comes, then they can move out. And what's going on is really habitat fragmentation. In a lot of areas, we have good protection of the conservation area, but we have nowhere for those animals to go out of those areas because those migration corridors get cut off. And so what Charles has done has spent, again, the last 3 decades opening those corridors open, protecting over 1 million acres to ensure that animals can migrate in and out of that region. And in doing so, he's been able to not only protect the elephants, but all the other animals that live with them, which is so, so important. I mean, we talk about protecting elephants, but everything that lives with an elephant, we also protect, from the vulture to the marabou storks, to the reptiles, the crocodiles, the hippos, the zebras, the wildebeest, the hartebeest, the topi, all those amazing animals that we would see in this region, we are able to protect. And it's by people coming. 500,000 people visit Reid Park Zoo every year, and those guests get an opportunity to connect with an animal in a way that we just can't anywhere else. I mean, we would love everyone to be able to come into the zoo. Unfortunately, again, we are still closed. This is our next best thing to connect to you guys. You know, it's really that connection that lends people to want to learn about the animal. When we learn about the animal, we understand that animal. When we understand that animal, it gives us an opportunity to be able to conserve that animal. And Penzi's just being adorable here for you guys. So hopefully you guys are enjoying, and thank you all for tuning in this morning. It's been extraordinary to be able to reach you guys. You, our members, are the heart of Reid Park Zoo. You are really what keeps us going. Your support, your donations, your ability to connect with us makes Reid Park Zoo what it is, and is going to help us to grow Reid Park Zoo to the next level, which is going to be absolutely extraordinary. So Cassie, I think at this time, maybe let's take some questions. We'll give Penzi a little bit of a break while she nurses here. Emily, do we have any questions for Cassie or me?
Yeah, we do have a few questions. One of our first ones is, do Nandi and Penzi have pretty different personalities so far?
Yeah, they really do. Elephants all have very unique personalities, just like people do. Nandi was a lot more adventurous. She was more bold. She spent her first days deep in the wallow, traveling away from mom, and a lot more independence. Penzi, on the other hand, is a little more wild. She has a little bit more high energy, silly, just super active playfulness. But yeah, baby elephants are all very playful and have a lot of similar behavior, but we do see some differences with the two of them as far as their level of confidence and independence.
Yeah, she's so silly here. This mud wallow is hysterical. This is a really cool view. Hopefully you guys are having fun watching this. Okay, Emily, what else we got?
Let's see. So Nandi nursed for several years. How long do elephants nurse if there isn't a new baby to kind of take over?
Well, Nandi did nurse for a long time. She nursed until she was 5, until Penzi was on the way. And so that is something that sometimes they do nurse up to 5 years. I think that's kind of usually stretching it, about to 5. Sun Tzu was nursing until he was 3, and that was right before Nandi was born. So there does seem to be a lot of health and nutrition that's associated with that. So they'll nurse for as long as they can, and as long as their mothers will let them. It's usually up to the moms to make that call, though. They're the ones that usually decide when.
Yeah, and I was talking to Charles about that, who again is our conservationist in Tanzania who studies wild elephants, and he said that it does really vary, just like Cassie was saying, whether or not that cow, the mom, has another offspring on the way, or whether or not there's a lot of resources that are available. If there's not a lot of resources, then the mom may allow the calf to nurse longer because the mom is going to take more of the resources and then allow calf to nurse. And if there's plentiful resources, then they may wean a little bit earlier. So just like what we're seeing here at the zoo, we see that variation in the wild as well. All right, Emily.
One of our viewers said that it looked like Penzi was kind of scratching her feet. Do elephants, itch, and do they scratch those itches?
Oh, do they itch, and oh, do they scratch.
Yeah, elephants are very itchy. It's their biggest priority is keeping their skin conditioned. Since they don't have fur to protect themselves, they spend a lot of time putting mud and dirt and sand and hay on their skin. They do get itchy, and I think that response helped them keep their skin protected. So Penzi does get itchy. She itches herself on her mom, on trees, on the ground. And if the keepers are near, she'll let us scratch her too. I think that's one of her favorite pastimes. That's helped us really get to know her and get her excited about working with her keepers right now.
And I think that's really where you guys have come in with the science of creating the right mud wallow and giving the elephants what they need in their habitat to be able to take care of themselves. So like you said, you guys may scratch them because they like the tactile, but you guys have created great mud wallows. You've got the right sand, the right dirt that allows them to do everything that they would do in the wild. And it's very similar to us putting on lotion, right?
Yeah, and the right type of mud is very important. We do make sure that our mud has clean water, clean dirt, and we do maintain it. So we spend a lot of time tractoring, stirring it, making sure we have good quality dirt, and that it's a good consistency, a little bit of clay mixture that they can really coat onto their skin well.
Yeah, they definitely, they all do that, not just Penzi, but all the elephants. If we look out, we can see all of them have mud on them that they've, done a similar behavior. So, all right, Emily, what else we got?
So you said that Penzi is starting to eat some solid food, and she really is enjoying lettuce so far. What other kinds of solid food does she get, or do our elephants get in general? And then how much do they eat every day?
So a big elephant can eat a couple 100 pounds of food every day. And it is, a little bit dependent on the size of the elephant, but Samba probably eats about 200 pounds. The best part of their diet, the thing that we really prioritize the most, is natural tree trimmings. So eating the tree leaves and branches and bark is really great fiber for them. So I think that's our number one food resource. We also do give them quite a bit of hay. They get mixtures of Bermuda and Timothy hays, and they also get some pellets and vitamin supplements. Occasionally they'll get some beet pulp and bran to mix in supplements and special treats. And we try not to give them too much fruit. They're not really designed for sugar. So a lot of kind of natural vegetable produce and just tree trimmings.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm sure you guys saw that there. We were talking about Penzi and how she's doing at getting mud behind her ears and learning how to do that. Well, you just saw the master there. You saw how a cow, an adult female Samba here, is really efficient in being able to cool herself down, takes that trunk, scoops up all that mud, and is able to get it right behind her ears. As Cassie said, acts just like an evaporative cooler. So she just needed a little cool down, and then back we go. All right, Emily, what do you think?
I've got lots more questions if you guys have answers.
Yeah.
Perfect. So for a little bit earlier in the summer, the pool was empty. Has that been refilled? Is it going to be refilled in the future?
Yeah, so we did drain the pool right when Penzi was born to be safe and make sure that she was healthy and knew how to navigate her environment. And we have been slowly filling the pool up. It's still not all the way full. It's full enough that the elephants can go in and cool down, and they have been using it. But we don't want to fill it all the way up until Penzi's learned how to navigate the lower portions of it first.
Yeah, I think when before Penzi came, when we knew she was on her way, when we knew Samba was pregnant, you guys did a lot of baby proofing, just like any mother would do, and part of that is baby proofing the pool. So now that we're a little bit older, we're starting to kind of hold back a little bit of that baby proofing, just like we would do as human parents. All right, Emily, what do you got?
Can you talk a little bit about the muscles in Penzi's trunk, because it looks like she doesn't have as much control over it as some of the older elephants.
Yeah, so elephants have over 40,000 muscles in their trunk. That's more muscles than a human's entire body. So it does take them a little while to learn how to utilize that. And it is muscle memory. She does get better and better with it every month. So it is a developmental thing that they have to learn how to use. She's definitely not as good at it as the big elephants yet, but that is an area that she's more advanced than Nandi was at this age. So she's able to manipulate her trunk with more skill. We've been kind of surprised at what she's been able to do.
and you guys couldn't see that, but we actually got a little bit of a mud wallow bath by Samba here by standing right here. So we're now coated with some cooling mud as well. That'll keep us cooled down. So
She's looking out for you guys.
she's looking out for us. As I said, it's a little warm out here. So we're just getting a little mud bath on us. I'm going to put this way since our elephants have kind of walked away a little bit. So after the training session is over, then we just kind of let elephants be elephants.
Yeah, so we do like to come out and call the elephants over and do training sessions, cool them down. We'll offer them water from the hose, which is just extra delicious for some reason to them. And just to give them some opportunities to interact with the keepers and move around their habitat a little bit more. We do spread food all around, so it's a challenge for them to come out and figure out where all the food is hidden each morning. It's a good foraging activity for them. And also having a little bit of interaction from their keepers, training sessions helps make every day a little bit different for them.
Yeah, well, this was, I think, absolutely extraordinary. I love coming back here to see the elephants. Hopefully you guys loved being able to see the elephants from this angle and getting up close and personal with a live view of Penzi. Again, the zoo is closed. We don't know when the zoo is going to open. Please stay tuned to Emily, who's going to be sending out information to all of you, our zoo members, to our zoo website, so that we know exactly when we're going to open and how we're going to open. So we're working with all of our health advisors, with the mayor, the city council members, to ensure that we are doing that responsibly. But we are trying to add in these amazing opportunities to still involve you guys and connect you with our animals and in very unique ways like what we did today. So just an update for Tuesday's chat. We do these every Tuesday and Saturday, just in case you missed our Jaguar chat with Bella. We have posted that. Emily sends out links to all of you guys, just so you know what's going on. So if somebody that you know missed this, wait for that link to be sent out for this one, and you can send that to them. And then join us on Tuesday. Tuesday, we're going to be going and seeing the meerkats. We're going to leave Cassie here with our elephants, but I'm going to go over to our meerkats. We have 5 meerkat pups, and this is going to be another really unique angle, an opportunity to get up close to our meerkats and our meerkat pups. So you're not going to want to miss that. And then on Saturday, we're going to be getting up close to Oha, our Andean bear, our female Andean bear. She has been doing some really fun behaviors since it's gotten a little bit warmer in her pool. So we're going to be going over that and hopefully getting an up close look at Oha in her pool. And then stay tuned to the next ones, because again, my goal for these is to try to get some unique behind the scenes, different angles that you may not even get when you're here at the zoo. So to make this fun and exciting, we love all you guys and all of your interactions. And again, we so appreciate what you guys as our zoo members are doing to help the Reid Park Zoo. As I said earlier, you are the heartbeat of what we do here. You help us be what we are, and you help us grow to be an extraordinary facility. So thank you to all of you guys, and we truly appreciate you guys tuning in for today's exciting Penzi elephants mud wallowing adventure.
Yeah, thanks guys, it was really fun.
So with that, we are going to say goodbye. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. For those of you guys that are in Tucson or any hot areas, stay cool. It's a heat advisory out there. We're doing the same. We're keeping the animals cool as well. And for those of you guys up in Ontario, Canada, hopefully you guys are cooling off. And hopefully we'll see you guys next time, Tuesday, for our meerkats. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.